Hey guys, it's me, Elke. How y'all doing? And I kind of wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the club life. And I'm kind of reminiscing about club life from, when I grew up in Germany, when I lived in Germany, because the club life out there is a lot different than out here. I don't know how it is now because I haven't really, been in Germany and partied out there in the last, like, I don't know, 8, 9 years. But man, if I tell you guys, the party life out there was amazing. I mean, back then, they didn't card anybody. I don't know if they card people now, but back when I was a teenager, when I was young, they didn't card anybody. Like, if you were 13 years old and you looked old enough, you would get into the club. You know what I mean? Into like pretty much any club. And that's what we did. We were kids, we were kids. And I snuck out the house a few times. My parents, they didn't know. And, wore that push-up bra, made the girls look nice and perky, put on makeup and head to the club. And it was just crazy. I mean, it's so different from nowadays, or from out here. Out here, it's like all about, bottle service and getting a table. And it's such a kind of like a serious thing, going clubbing. Like in Germany, it wasn't like that. You would, like I said, I was a teenager, was young, and we would hop on the train and, drive into Frankfurt. And I remember that one club, the name was Dorian Gray, and it was in the Frankfurt airport. It was underneath the airport, like an underground type of club. And we would get there, at like, I don't know, 10 o'clock at night. And it was just amazing. You would just go in there. They had like 3 or 4 rooms, always a techno room, a hip hop room. And it was so many different people there. Nobody was worried about bottles. Nobody was worried about table service. I don't even really think that existed then or existed there. And you would just go in a club and you would just dance all night, party all night. And I don't know, it was just so much fun. Like, it was just all about the dancing, and it was all about the partying, and just all about having fun and letting loose. And you would stay in the club till about 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. And then you would go to an after hour. After hours usually started in the morning, and they would go till the next day, till about maybe 1 p.m., 2 p.m. I mean, it was insane. It was insanity, partying. And out here, especially in California, everything closing at 2 o'clock, it's so irritating. Like, it's so annoying. And then if there is after hours, either they shut it down, once law enforcement finds out about it, or there is not really anything to go. You, like, I don't know, go to a friend's house, or you go for breakfast, you go eat somewhere, And I don't know, I miss the times, I miss the partying. I love living out here, don't get me wrong. I'm very happy to be here, and I love California. Hey, California. But it's like the whole party life, it was just, I don't know, it was just so amazing. And it was so many different clubs, and they didn't have a time limit. You party till 6 o'clock in the morning, and then you would go to the after hour, or you would go home. I remember there was times where I didn't even go to the party. I would take the first train at 6 o'clock in the morning and, drive into Frankfurt and go straight to the after party. So it was, it was crazy back then. We had so much fun. And I love hip hop and I love rap. But I also love me some house music. And you guys know out there, if y'all know about house music, all that good shit comes from Europe. Comes from Spain, comes from Germany. There's some amazing DJs out there. So I started clubbing very early on. So now I'm like not really into the clubbing anymore because, like I said, I've been doing it for years, and it's just a different atmosphere. So definitely clubbing overseas. If you haven't been overseas yet, definitely got to make that trip. Go to Spain, go to Italy, go to Germany, and, see those clubs out there. I mean, these people know how to party, put a party on. And one of the craziest parties I've ever been to was the Love Parade, which started in Berlin in the 90s, I believe. I don't remember exactly the dates, But they would do it every year. I think it was in May or June. They would do it every year. And every year it was, it got bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, there was millions of people at some point, every year. I think the year that I went, it was like 1.5 million people from all over the world. And they would come to Berlin, and it was like a festival, like a parade. They had like these trucks, and on every truck was like a different DJ. And people would just dress like, they would have pasties on and bikinis and costumes, and they would have body paint on. I mean, it was in the summertime, so it was hot out there, and it was like, I think it was like 2 or 3 days, and it was like, I mean, it was insanity. And I think then they moved it to different cities because they needed more space. There wasn't enough space to like have all these people in town. And I know there was some tragedy because at some point there was so many people there that one year I think that some people got stomped to death, which is so awful, so terrible. And I think eventually they stopped doing it. But yeah, the Love Parade was one of those crazy, memories, those crazy party memories that I had. And out here they could do Coachella, and I'm assuming it's probably kind of like similar to, to what that was, but I don't think it was on that scale. I've never been to Coachella, so I definitely have to go and hopefully next year check it out and see what that is all about, because I love music and I love clubbing, but I just don't like to have the clubs how it is out here, how everything is so serious and, oh, do you have a bottle? And do you have do you have table service? It's kind of like it takes just the fun out of things. You know what I mean? I just want to go out and have a good time and, and go in the club and just dance and listen to the music and party and have a good time with my friends. I don't have to worry about standing in line and having to have a bottle and having to have a table. I might as well stay home and, have a bottle at my house and drink and invite my friends over. I mean, what's the point? What's the point of getting dressed up and putting on your clothes and dolling up and getting your hair done and, organizing a babysitter if then you get to the club and what? Because I don't have a table, I'm not allowed to come in the club and party and have a good time. So I definitely think that clubs out here have some catching up to do to other clubs around the world. Except Vegas now. Vegas is a good time. In Vegas, it doesn't matter. In Vegas, you can just club and it doesn't matter if you have a table or a bottle. You get in the club and you have a good time. So it's kind of similar to Europe, I want to say. Vegas is. But if you haven't been to Europe and you have never partied out there, it's definitely worth the trip. Go book your tickets. Go to Germany. Go to Spain. Go to Amsterdam. Go and club in Europe. And just, just experience something different compared to here. And subscribe to my channel. Y'all know I'm going to bring you videos. Talk about different things. If you want to ask me anything, leave me comments. Well, actually, no, don't leave comments. Hit me up on Twitter and ask me on Twitter, anything you guys want me to talk about. And thumbs up. And I love you guys. Bye-bye.